The forest spirit gives life and takes life away. Life and death are his alone. Or have you boys forgotten that?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for what we believe to be the greatest cinematic triumphs in the anime scene.
Look at me. Hana, tell me what you see.
Number 20, Red Line. This hot-blooded feature is about putting pedals to the metal via the Red Line, an intergalactic race where staying alive proves to be just as tricky as passing the finishing line.
God damn it! I need something to kick this thing's ass over the line!
This thing is a pure adrenaline rush, and while the story may not strike as much of a chord, the racing sequences, along with the spicy relationship between JP and Sonoshi, keeps things lively all throughout. Besides, it gave us one of anime's greatest pompadours, and that's saying something.
Sonoshi, I love you.
I love you too, JP.
Number 19, Jujutsu Kaisen 0. Taking what was initially a precursor premise and turning it into a feature-length film that directly ties into and influences the future of one of modern anime's biggest hits was quite a play. Thankfully, the result was monumental, given how Yuta's journey as a long-suffering youth to one of the deadliest sorcerers in existence was utterly thrilling.
Hoo-hoo! Aki!
Huh?
The characters here are beyond intense, with Yuta establishing himself as such a compelling character that come the end of the flick, we can't help but wonder if he would have made a better lead than Yuji. The Shibuya arc wouldn't have been nearly as rich without this to spice it up.
純愛だよ。ならばこちらは大義だ。
Number 18, My Neighbor Totoro. As a reason this giant fluff ball became Ghibli's mascot. After making a fresh start in the countryside, a family comes across a variety of strange and enchanting creatures, including the titular Totoro. This is a very low-stakes and effortlessly charming slice of life fantasy that will nonetheless reel you in. From the uncanny cat bus all the way to Totoro making all things spontaneously grow, there's a pure magical quality to this film that continues to astound, even among Ghibli's extensive catalog.
Totoro? That's it! I bet your name's Totoro, isn't it?
Number 17, Mobile Suit Gundam Chars Counterattack. You couldn't ask for a better way to conclude the rivalry between Amuro and Char, let alone bring an end to the original Gundam series.
私は空に出た人類の革新を信じている。しかし、人類全体をニュータイプにするためには、誰かが人類の業を背負わなければならない。
Fueled by the desire to destroy all humanity on Earth, the Red Comet sets about kickstarting one final battle, prompting the likes of Amuro to once again get in the robots and end things for good. As expected of the Universal Century, we're showcased to the best and worst of both sides of the conflict, and there is no shortage of deaths to leave you hollow in between all the amazing mecha bouts that is. Number 16, Dragon Ball Super Broly. This thing ticked so many boxes for Dragon Ball fans, it's astounding.
What a waste! Don't do this, Vegeta!
Coming off the hype of the Tournament of Power, this film gave us the greatest animation the franchise has ever seen, as well as fight scenes as fluid as they are frenzied, and did an incredible job of reintroducing and recontextualizing fan-favorite powerhouse Broly. While you might have to be a DB fan to fully appreciate all its facets, the thrill of that final fight alone is enough to give any viewer goosebumps. Number 15, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie Mugen Train.
俺の責務を全うする
To call this a runaway success would be a discredit, given how it earned more money than God, and fully demonstrated just what Ufotable were capable of in the visual department. Continuing the story of Demon Slayer, Tanjiro and his companions soon find themselves under siege when their train comes under the threat from Muzan's elite demon forces. What follows is the most beautiful serenade of swords, blood splatter, and anime tropes, all leading to the now legendary bout between Rengoku and Akaza. Shonen fights don't get more cinematic than this. Number 14, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. The precursor to all things Ghibli, and one of the purest examples of Miyazaki's magic as a filmmaker, from the corrupted yet enchanting environments to its spirited lead as she attempts to stop a wayward kingdom of humans from destroying all of nature. Nausicaa's journey blends its messaging with fantastical adventure brilliantly.
What are you so afraid of? You act like a scared little fox squirrel.
What did you call me?
Don't be afraid. There's nothing to fear.
It also really knows how to embrace the grotesque and macabre aspects of its creatures and world building. We know they're innocent and all, but the Omu still creep us out.
I'm glad you're okay. Oh, thank you.
Number 13, Suzume. The latest in Makoto Shinkai's flicks focusing on a coming-of-age story meshed with mythical elements and meteorological phenomena, Suzume nonetheless maintains the quality and beauty his works are known for. In an attempt to stop a series of earthquakes from devastating her home, the titular Suzume traverses the country, forced to close chosen doorways or risk the wrath of the monstrous worm. It is just as bizarre as it sounds, and yet utterly gorgeous to behold. Keep doing you, sir, and we'll keep enjoying these lavish tales of youth and disaster.
Suzume-san, 後ろ戸の中に何を見ていた？
すごく眩しい星空と草原と。
どこよだ？
Number 12, a silent voice. Fair warning, this one cuts deep. A rich, heartbreaking, yet ultimately hopeful look at how one's childhood actions can haunt a person, and just how difficult it can be to seek out redemption. After tormenting a deaf girl during their younger years, Ishida endeavors to make things right now that he's come to regret his actions. What follows is a beautiful and uncompromising examination at how preconceptions, violence, disabilities, and teenage mentalities can destroy a person, as well as make them better. Number 11, The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. Picking up where the hit series left off, SOS Brigade member Kyon wakes up one morning to discover high schooler / unknown god Haruhi Suzumiya no longer exists. But is this a blessing or a curse? Disappearance trades much of the humor the series is known for in exchange for a potent study of Kyon's character and what he truly feels for Haruhi.
そろそろ付き合いきれねえぞ。
With some of Kyoto Animation's best work in terms of visuals, this journey through the Looking Glass is a true delight.
ああ、正解？少しくらいは待てるだろ。
Number 10, Ghost in the Shell. The film that redefined sci-fi, breathed new life into cyberpunk, and in many ways introduced the Western world to how gritty and compelling the mature side of anime could be.
I don't believe it. Thermoptic camouflage.
The driving force of its neo-noir plots is Major Kusanagi and her elite Section 9 units as they track down an infamous hacker, though in many ways, it also serves as a springboard for discussion on the nature of man and machine and just how dangerously close the two are becoming.
I am a living, thinking entity who was created in the sea of information.
With philosophy and action aplenty, it's no wonder this film has become such an inspiration beyond its medium. Number 9. Howl's Moving Castle.
Now, straighten your legs and start walking.
After accidentally offending a witch, a young woman named Sophie is cursed with old age. Her only hope for a cure is to seek out the feared wizard Howl, and of course, his moving castle. As whimsical a fantasy film as you can expect, there's a reason why this classic is so ingrained into the hearts of numerous generations. Apart from the inspired visuals, the characters really carry this.
I specifically ordered you not to get carried away!
From the curious and straight-laced Sophie to the suave yet childish Howl, this eclectic group are easily some of the most recognizable in anime history. Number 8. The End of Evangelion. This thing is a marvel due to the sheer amount of layers it has to it. On the one hand, it's a conclusion to Neon Genesis Evangelion, one that sees the world face cataclysmic events, as well as terrible things happening to its characters. So yeah, a major bummer saturated in Abrahamic symbolism. But to the keen eye, you can see that there is a much deeper reason behind it. No matter how you choose to interpret this film, there is an undeniable beauty to its apocalyptic aesthetic. Number 7. Gintama The Final. We couldn't ask for a better way for the hilarious samurai with a silver soul to end his long tenure. The comedy is still present here and there, why wouldn't it be? But the main focus is on Gintoki tying up loose ends with his past. And by that, we mean him beating the ever-loving fourth wall out of longtime foe Utsuro.
望み通り終わらせてやるよ、うつろ。お前も。
While it is very much a conclusion to a franchise that feels impossible to summarize given immense zaniness, and as a result, not exactly newcomer friendly, the action here is utterly sublime, giving Oddjob's Gin the richest send-off you could ask for. Number 6. Perfect Blue. You can't bring up the conversation of the greatest anime films without bringing up Satoshi Kon. The man knew how to make magic, the kind of magic that leaves you disturbed and intrigued down to your bones. The best example of this being the psychological masterpiece that is Perfect Blue, where an idol turned actress finds herself dealing with everything from paranoia, murder, and the blurring of her reality. Not only is this exquisitely unsettling, but the way it correctly predicted the dangers of the internet and fan culture is borderline prophetic. Number 5. Princess Mononoke. Cinematic brilliance flows through this film like a river. Miyazaki's storytelling and environmental consciousness seamlessly blend together to create a fantasy tale filled with just as much action as there are poignant character moments.
You're beautiful.
In fact, this might be Ghibli's darkest film, and it's all the better for it. In order to stop a conflict between a warmonger and the divine denizens of nature, an exiled prince allies himself with a young woman raised by wolves.
The forest spirit gives life and takes life away. Life and death are his alone. Or have you boars forgotten that?
This really is essential viewing for anyone who even moderately has an interest in anime or great films in general.
Stay your hand. The girl's life is now mine.
Number 4. Millennium Actress. Satoshi Kon strikes again, though this time he's swapping out the psychological for the contemplative, and in doing so crafts a deeply moving tale, laid with the eternal question of what could have been.
大きくて真っ白な風景の中にいると、まるで遠い星の世界にいるような不思議な気持ちになるんだ。
行ってみたい。私も。
Two documentary filmmakers seek out Chiyoko Fujiwara, an actress long missing from the spotlight. Upon finding her, she reminisces about her career. From there, the film becomes an ever-twisting mesh of genre and time, as through each performance, we're able to garner a better understanding of Chiyoko's life, and the highs and lows that occur off-screen.
もう
二度と見ることもないと思ってた。どこまでも会いに行こうって決めたのに。
Number 3, Your Name. It started with body swapping, and it turned into something else entirely. After waking up in each other's bodies, Taki and Mitsuha start to slowly experience one another's lives.
それから入れ替わった日の出来事を携帯に残すこと。
この謎現象をとにかくも乗り切るために協力し合うこと。それなのにあの男は
Things only get crazier from there, and yet their story remains wholly endearing and expertly crafted. You truly want nothing but happiness for both of them with all your hearts.
言おうと思ったんだ。お前が世界のどこにいても。
And we don't care what Makoto Shinkai says, his work here is incredible, to the extent we're not sure how he'd improve it. Number 2, Akira. Neo Tokyo 2019. A war is about to erupt between the remnants of the military, a rebel with the greatest futuristic bike of all time, and a psychically imbued teenager with a god complex. Over 30 years later, it's still awesome.
お前もそこにいたっけな。いいんだよ、金田。俺はもうお前に助けてもらわなくってもいいんだよ。
The animation for the time was groundbreaking, the lore woven into the dystopian setting was intriguing, and it's all helmed by two of anime's greatest frenemies. Both burnt by tragedy, both brought to blows when Tetsuo's newfound omnipotence threatens to decimate everything.
金田！判をつけろよ、デコスケ野郎！
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Spirited Away. It speaks to the sheer majesty of this film that even among the pantheon of enchanting films that bear the Ghibli name, this undoubtedly stands at the top. Everything magical about the art form and Miyazaki's sensibilities as a storyteller and animator can be found here.
Sen, what did you do to me?
In order to free her parents from a curse, young Chihiro must enter a realm of spirits, both well-meaning and insidious, leading to a dangerously delightful adventure filled to the brim with moments that have become ingrained into the culture for all time. It's a special one, alright. Which anime film is your all-time favorite? Let us know in those comments below.
私は本物だよ。
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.